Welcome back, folks, for the second episode, being an hour long here on Currentland. I don't know if you watched last week and went, it's longer than it used to be. Well, it is. We're an hour long now. I'm loving life. What do you think about that, Drew? You liking this?
Hey.
Yeah, Mike, what do you think?
Yeah.
Sunshine, what do you think, boy?
That's a hell of a lot better.
Do. Rolling out a show. I love it. Folks, I've been sick lately. Has anybody else been feeling poorly?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sucks, doesn't it, man? I'm
Not
telling you.
bad, just the weather keeping me down.
I know, man. It gets hot, cold, and man, I'm just got really sick a while back. Supposed to be in a play, had to drop out of that. I still got this funk, but I'm tired of it getting me down and all that stuff. So I'm gonna power through, man. See, I'm doing my Axl Rose thing. Have you noticed that? I've been doing this like this whole episode. I mean, every time I say something, I'll
Get the groove on.
Get my groove on. Watch, whoa, like that, huh?
Like Axel Grease.
Yeah, I don't have the bandanas and all that crap and the sorry-ass singing voice. I hope you heard that, Axel, you fat toad. Anywho, let's go ahead and skip to a little bit of national entertainment news right now. Joanna Passati has been disqualified from this season in American Idol, apparently due to her background in the music business. But Drew and I were talking about this earlier. They already knew. I mean, she had an album come out in 2006 called This Crazy Life, and she opened up for Nick Lachey, and she was on Broadway. She was doing a national tour of Annie, and she got released from the project because she developed bronchitis. So I'm kind of confused on this, how, I don't know, first of all, how they couldn't know that she had done all this stuff. I mean, it's American Idol. They're supposed to be, top notch, know everything about everything, especially, some little teen idol chick like this. They had to know all about that. So if they didn't, then that's their problem for not doing their research. So, yeah. And if they did know, why is it all of a sudden uncool? I'm kind of confused on this. But nobody ever said, and Mike Burris right there can back me up. Nobody ever said the music business is nice.
No.
Dirty, dirty. Kind of like somebody.
American Idol's always got to have their scandal every year.
I know. There's always somebody kicked out of that sucker. I remember a few years ago. Was it Frenchie, the big girl? Frenchie or something, it was like 4 or 5 years ago, big old girl. She got booted because she had done some photos. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I got to be quiet. Remember the Boy George story?
I've got copies. That's
You
okay.
You take those, Mike, will you? Put those up so the people can see. Okay, so I don't know. I kind of think it's a bunch of crap, but Simon Cowell's not asking me what I think, So, first one, done. The Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne, is putting 2009's Ozfest on hold. He's working on a new album. It's a follow-up to 2007's Black Rain. Here's a funny thing about Ozzy Osbourne. I remember in the early 90s when he came out with the album that had, what was it? It was Mama, I'm Coming Home, whatever. Well, that was supposed to be his retirement project. Yeah. And the tour was billed as his last tour. I'm going to quit after this tour. Next year he's on tour again. What's will be my last tour?
The first conversation.
Yeah, I mean, dude.
He doesn't remember last.
Last year, what? Well, I heard it was a rumor. So I don't know. I don't know. He just kind of plays with our emotions a little bit, but I don't think it's him because I think we're all shaking our heads going, he doesn't really know what's going on anyway.
Every day is a new day.
Right now he's going, Sharon! Because he's trying to figure out if he wants to drink Diet Coke or a Coke. he doesn't. Poor guy, God love him, God love him. I bet he's really a nice guy if you were to meet him and all that. So I don't know, I'm not trying to be too hard on him, but somebody in his organization just needs to cut the crap, But I don't know why he would want to postpone Ozfest is a big deal, man. You can work on an album anytime you want.
Very big deal.
Summertime only comes around once a year. So, I mean, why do you want to be indoors anyway in the summertime? Anyway, oh, and like I said previously, they're returning to television this spring with the Osbournes Reloaded on Fox, kind of a variety thing. But you remember that if you've been watching this show. Previous few episodes I talked about that. Okay, number 2, done. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Leonard Cohen is about to release his first album in a number of years, since 2004's Dear Heather. This is going to be a live album. It's called Live in London. It's taken from a concert he did in London last year, July 17th. It's also going to be a DVD. For those of you people are going, who the Sam hell is Leonard Cohen? Well, if you're a fan of the movie Natural Born Killers, he did the blah, 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 blah song. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Studio audience, you know what I'm talking about? Of course you do. You guys got my back, and I love you for it. So it's the song that goes, blah, 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 blah. It's like it's the song that's playing when they go in there to the diner and kill everybody except for the waitress. Or no, they killed the waitress. They leave the old guy with the beard. They let him live, so. Yeah, that's Leonard Cohen. So check him out. You should. He's kind of an interesting sounding guy. So, and for you fans, they already knew who I'm talking about. Expect some new stuff, some cool stuff coming up soon. All right. Number 3, done. Oh. Fleetwood Mac, the Mac Attack. They're gearing up for a spring tour coming up. 46-date city tour thing, whatever. 46 cities. Dude, Drew, that's a lot.
You are correct, sir.
That's quite a few for people that are taking Geritol every morning. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Stevie Nicks, she just turned 72 last week. I'm have it on, Stevie Nicks. Well, they got a spring tour coming out, and this is a first for them in this regard because they're touring without an album being out. This is the first time they're going out on the road and not having an album to promote. But on a personal note, side comment note, and that's why I love this show, Drew, because I can do this kind of crap. If we were on a network television, this thing would be so stiff. They'd say, keep your opinions to yourself, boy. Well, we're not on that. We're on TV, baby. I personally think it's probably a good thing that they're not coming out with new material because it'll probably suck. I mean, really, there's a point where you just suck. And you should just do what the Stones do and just tour. Maybe put out a live album. You know, people will buy that double disc, make a little scratch on that, but touring's where it's at. So it's probably a good idea that they're not doing that. They have been rehearsing for this tour since January 5th in Los Angeles, California. And there was rumor about adding Sheryl Crow into the lineup, but that fell through, which I think would be kind of interesting, Drew.
Very good.
It'd be an interesting move. If they were to write in the studio with her, it might give them that fresh perspective. But as far as those old dinosaurs coming up with something persuasive and new and progressive, those days went up their nose like half of Peru. All right, number four, done. Green Day has got a new album coming out, and Drew is happy about this. These are his boys. He's a big Green Day fan. And normally, Drew kind of knows about what I'm going to bring up and talk about before we do the show. And right before we started taping this, I mentioned Green Day, and his eyes like, what, they got a new one coming out? So Drew's hearing this for the first time. You ready, Drew? Ready to hear the news? These are your boys. These are your boys. Sunshine, what do you think?
Hell yeah!
Exactly. This is the album's called Breakdown, and it's the first one that they've come out with since 2004's American Idiot. So a lot of people are excited about that. The album's getting really good reviews because there's been some people inside the music business that have heard the album. They've already got a number of tracks already done, and they're saying, "Hey, thumbs up if you're a Green Day fan." They're back, baby. They're back. They haven't gone anywhere, which would mean that would make them being back not mean anything. I shouldn't have 5 shots of whiskey for each show. Butch Vig is producing this. And you're going, well, who's Butch Vig? Why should I care? Well, if you're a Nirvana fan, he produced Nevermind. And he was a member of the band called Garbage that came out in the mid-90s. They had that song, Stupid Girl, and I'm Only Happy When It Rains, and a couple other a couple other hits. They were a little bit better than a one-hit wonder, but that's Butch Vig. I'm actually interested in hearing that because I haven't seen Butch Vig do anything in a number of years, so that's really cool. Drew's happy, I'm happy, Sunshine's happy.
That worked for me.
We're all happy. All right.
When's it coming out?
When's it coming out? It doesn't have a date. Does not have a date. It just says later this year. Because they're not done. They're not done recording it yet. You know, they don't usually announce a date on an album coming out until after everything's done because you never know. Somebody can get sick and then you're 2 weeks behind. Anyway, Green Day new album coming out soon. Numero 5, El Dano.
Sometimes I'll give myself a crutch. Sometimes I'm on breaks, it's on me. The Lord keeps setting up. What can come